Kelihatan ibunya bakal kelihatan.
Udah body
Ini ya.
berapa?
GR sendiri. 11.
Iya. Kami lihat lagi sama ini dulu.
Wah. Coba tahu semua ya. Iya.
Iya sama. Enggak, kemarin. Soal pertimbangannya setengah kan? Enggak, originalnya ala dia mana berdiri ya, ini sama dia juga, tapi emang juga si inilah ya. Biar nanti banyak. Jadi dari ini sudah trik muka. Itu trik muka memang Pak.
Buat terpesona orang biar tidak ada pertanyaan.
Bersama dengan keluarga.
Iya kan? Aku tanya depannya dulu.
Kata doang.
Citra Suraya, effective of Israel. Apa ni? Dr. Farida. Dia je buat lah. Okay. Saya Citra. Healthy 17 lah. Siapa tidak?
Timi?
Timi Larasati? Ada? Ada. Timi ada. Okay. Ramatul Ulia? Renti Ahmalia? Winnie Lasdia? Silvana? Selvia? Selvia? Di Selvia dengan Healthy 17 ni tak ada ya?
Kenapa?
17 lah.
Kena.
Oh, yang ni. Okey kan?
Kena nampak dia punya.
Okey lah. Okey, kena nampak.
Kena nampak dia. Dia punya kataan nampak.
Oh, kain tu kena nampak. Okey.
Kagetnya di sana.
Okey.
Sebelum tu
Mana kamera tu? Kamera tu. Oh, sana. Okey. Ada asyik ini suara ni.
Orang tu nak habis hari ni. Ini pasal
okay.
saya cakap mana semalam sama dulu.
Ni.
Ya, aku tu ada.
Boleh jadi presenter nombor 1?
Yes.
Dan nanti kita sama pada kemarin. Oh, tak ada. So kita pakai. This one apa ni? Okey.
Hello.
I call the delegate and then you make the something. Is it right?
Assalamualaikum and very good morning.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Participants, make sure you have emailed your presentations to the Mr. Afiq so that once this morning program will be smooth. Okay. I would like to introduce myself, Ms. Anur Adila Shahrid, and my partner, Ms. Nur Khairina Mohammed Taha. And then our chairman for this morning is Professor Dr. Farida Muhammad Said and also Associate Professor Dr. Asita Yudhini. We will read about a little bit about our chairperson. Let me introduce you, Professor Dr. Farida Muhammad Said. Professor Dr. Farida Muhammad Said has completed her studies in midwifery. Her PhD is from University Putra, Malaysia. She did her master from University Kebangsaan Malaysia and bachelor from University Malaysia. She has many years working experience in clinical, academic and management throughout her career in public and private organizations, national and internationally. Her experiences included she was appointed as Clinical Nursing Director in Madinah KSA, Head of Nursing Postgraduate and Research in Lincoln University, and Head of Nursing Program in University Putra, Malaysia. She has supervised many PhD students. Her niche areas of interest include community and public health, nursing education. Her current research interest focuses smart health education. She was awarded Excellent Outstanding Quality Award in Madinah. She received 4 research grants when she was in UPN. Okay, well, for Associate Professor Dr. Asita. Dr. Asita, PhD, is the head of Biotechnology Department, Faculty of Applied Science, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, with PhD in Bioscience in 2015 and a Master of Science in Biotechnology 2010 from University Technology Malaysia. She is highly qualified professional. Dr. Elingyo also holds a Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology honors from University Tunku Abdul Rahman. Her research interests span various areas including cancer, gene therapy, computational biology, natural products, and medical plants. Dr. Elingyo is a member of the Royal Society of Biological (MRSB) in the United Kingdom. Additionally, she is an assistant executive editor for the International Journal of Advancement in Life Science Research. Dr. Elingyo has published
articles in index and non-index journals, authored book chapters, and edited 6 books, including Obesity and its Impact on Health by Springer Nature. Okay, you will hand over to our chairperson.
Participant for safety reasons, please use this way because this area banyak wire kan. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everybody. Morning. So today is our second day of our conference, so I hope that we have collected some of the new information so that you can use for your research, your current research as well as your future research. Okay, without any delay, we're going to have our presentation. So currently, I just want to make sure that everybody is here. So if I'm not mistaken, I was informed that Chitra Suraya is already presented yesterday. So today we have, we start with healthy. Okay, is healthy here?
Healthy?
Okay. So without any delay, we move to the next participant.
Seorang nama dia Siti
Itu dah betul pula bagi tahu dah. Last one. Bila saya tengok Siti Kamilah ke?
Walaupun nak Siti Kamilah
Oh, dia sebab tu.
semalam dia tak
If we start Siti Kamilah.
Okay, alright. I think everybody already understood regarding our rules and regulation. We only given 5 minutes and any burning Q&A. Alright, then only we allow 1 or 2 questions. Right, and we were for that allow some times if we have extra times. Okay. So we're going to start with Siti Kamalia.
Siti Kamilah.
The first presenter, Siti Kamilah. Kamalia. Sorry. Siti Kamilah.
So, pardon us for unable to pronounce your names correctly because your name is very unique. Everybody's names are very unique. Even the spelling itself also very unique. All right? Okay, betulkan seperti suara. You only have 1 mic. I think this is a very small room. I think we should be able to hear our voice. So, but there can those at the back, please. We have a lot of empty seat in front. Can you please move?
All of you have submitted the PPT here? All PPT ready? Too fast, huh? 5 minutes plus 2 minute question answer. Don't drag. Mic okay? And then
Because I need no microphone. Only one.
Only one.
ask. Why you want?
Ask.
Only one.
Only one. Can you just move from front? Pergi shopping ya? Kemarin di shopping.
Tak main. Let's start. Okay, we start.
Thank you. Good morning to everybody and thank you for having me. Today I'm present about development of a model health literacy and empowerment patient type 2 diabetes in Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia. This is our content. And let's start about introduction. The quality of life of type 2 diabetes patients remains a concern and a major challenge for health professionals worldwide. In many countries, the burden of health costs due to poor quality of life type 2 diabetes amounted to $700 billion since 2017. These costs are due to disability, absenteeism, complication, costs, and death costs. To increasing quality of life, type 2 diabetes patients need to have good health literacy. And we know only about 50% of type 2 diabetes patients have managed diabetes properly. On the other hand, diabetes patients in rural areas are very difficult to empower. One of the reasons is diabetic patients often hide their ignorance from other people who can help, such as family, friends, group members, or health professionals to manage diabetes health management. Diabetes application is a strategic approach to improve health literacy and increase the empowerment of type 2 diabetes patients. How about in Indonesia? This is challenge in Indonesia. The quality life of type 2 diabetes patients in rural areas are currently still not optimal. They visited the health facility of health professional after several complications from diabetes. Diabetes type 2 patients in rural area of Indonesia are tend to depend on their family to managing diabetes. And diabetes application usually available in health facilities in urban area and rural area. This is previous study. We know the diabetes application enhance diabetes patients self-monitoring and behavior change. And this is, we have a gap that differences in the characteristic of diabetes patient in urban area more independent than patient in rural area. Type 2 diabetes patient in rural area offers lack of diabetes knowledge and limited opportunities to use diabetes applications. Diabetes application development is priorities of type 2 patient in urban areas than rural areas. This is research purpose to strengthen the previous findings on the use of diabetes applications in type 2 diabetes patients in rural areas and are will to fill in the research gap in health literacy and empowerment type 2 diabetes. The diabetes application will be effectively improving the quality of life patient in rural areas. This is a research field. Research was conducted in West Java province, one of the third largest provinces in Indonesia. And Cianjur Regency was selected because it's the third lowest regency within West Java province in terms of health development. This is our research method. We use quantitative research with pre and post control group design. We decided to group intervention group and control group. Intervention group.
One more minute, huh?
Okay. Thank you. This is our intervention. We use group apps, and this is application developed for local residents and feature based on patient needs. This is our participant. Participants involved in this study were type 2 diabetes patients at Dr. Hafiz Hospital Cianjur as many as 117 people. This is data collection. The data collection with questionnaire health literacy consists of 16 questions and adapted from Ankara Numur Education and Research Hospital. And the empowerment questionnaire consists of 15 questions and was adapted from Diabetes Empowerment Questionnaire. The data analysis is research uses Jamovi 2.3.21 20 for the process of analyzing data on health literacy and empowerment. This is our activity. This is application, patient, and activity, physical activity. This is research finding.
Sorry, can you go to straight to the 5
Finish?
minutes already. Can you go to conclusion part?
Okay. This is control group data. The control group data from health literacy pre-test and post-test with p-value lower 0.001 and effect size 1.32. This times because no diabetes application intervention was given for diabetes self-management and empowerment group pre-test and post-test with p-value lower 0.001, effect size 0.753. In this group, no diabetes application intervention for diabetes management. How about intervention group data? Intervention group data have literacy pre-test and post-test with p-value, p-value lower 0.001
Sorry.
and effect size.
Can you please go to conclusion because it's almost
Oh, okay,
six.
okay.
Sorry.
Conclusion.
And
The
yes.
diabetes application is believed to be one of the strategic approaches to increase health literacy and patient empowerment in rural areas. It's just that it takes a longer and more sustainable time to have a more profound effect on changing the quality of life type 2 diabetes patient. Number two, support is needed in carrying out a technology-based approach to communities in rural areas. And my recommendation for future research, it is recommended to measure the effectiveness of diabetic application by in-depth interviews with patients to understand their reason for using the application. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Very interesting study. So it is open for any question from the floor. Ada soalan? Excuse me, I'm in an international conference, so I have to speak on both sides, please. Alright? You know me. Everybody knows me. So any question from the floor? No question? Okay, if there's no question.
Hi, Siti Kamila. Okay, it's a good presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question. Okay, what are the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria when you do this application diabetes? Because I saw you choose only the rural areas, not focus because diabetes I think everywhere. I think compared to rural and cities, the most people is affected by right because we didn't follow the healthy lifestyle compared to the rural area. The more particular in the healthy style. So
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. Inclusion criteria for the patient. They are diabetic patient, type 2 diabetic patient, and number two, they have mobile phone because this application in Android. So they have to download the application group apps, and then 3 months they
They like
use.
age, gender, something like that. So you need to choose particular age factor for the inclusion criteria, which is diabetic patients.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a particular age factor.
Oh, age. No. Age. No.
So this one for everyone.
Everyone, but patient type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
No type 1, no type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes.
oh, okay. So it's for men, men and women, everyone. So it's how to say for everyone. Just the
Everyone.
general one.
Yes, general.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question, Dr. Asita. Okay, but my recommendation is that normally diabetes patient, we always have problem with those non-compliance. So it is good if you can have the non-compliance as your inclusion criteria.
Okay.
And another thing is that about the age, is what you are saying, because I think the younger generation, they are more alert of their health compared to the seniors. I don't mean the very seniors. We are talking about those 40, 35 and above, because they are very busy. So take into that consideration. Okay, thank you for your presentation. Okay, the next one will be healthy. Healthy is going to present on the successful aspect and impact of diabetes food exercise among Indonesian type 2 diabetes mellitus patients and literature review.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Prof. Farida, the Honorable Dr. Asita, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning everybody. Thank you very much to stay here. The presentation conference Lincoln University. Today I want to talk about my title, Successful Aspect and Impact of Diabetic Food Exercise among Indonesian Type 2 Diabetes mellitus Patient Literature Review. So, oh yeah, I see. Background, prevalence of diabetic foot among patients remain high worldwide, including in Indonesia. Food exercise become one solution to prevent this health issue until now. However, the procedure seems simple, but many factors influence the successful of this intervention. Numerous studies have been published related to successful aspect and the outcome of diabetic foot exercise, but those are still dispersed. So then the comprehensive information of diabetic foot exercise is still puzzle, right? Puzzle, and do not unitality maximal by clinicals. Purpose, the study aims to review and synthesize previous information related to successful aspect and impact of diabetic food exercise among Indonesian type 2 diabetes mellitus patient. The methods, there is the three, the literature review, to identification, yeah, post science directly, yeah, Google Scholar, and while online, ProQuest. So include article before screening, duplication, and equal 103. Other reason and equal 528. And then screening journal article include until 852. A literature review had been conducted this study with Prisma, approach to sort the article from EBSCO, Google Scholar, Science Directly. Yeah. This is include from screening until to identification. So include eligibility articles to be reviewed and equal 20 article include and per article because unmeet MMAT. Result, we have received 1,481 articles, synthesized 20 selected
So we have 1
articles.
more minute to go.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
pass.
Our finding revelate intrinsic and extrinsic aspect of diabetic mellitus food exercise were the key to improve the intervention outcome must be outcome of diabetic food exercise were related to physical benefit, although mental benefits also captured to the study. Interestingly, our review found a unique finding, which in Indonesian context, the spiritual outcomes was also maintenance by diabetic mellitus after received diabetic food exercise. This is the aspect. Intrinsic and extrinsic outcome. There is outcome, yeah, endurance, because diabetic foot exercise, yeah, increase blood glucose, through improve blood circulation, and symptom relief pain, increase comfort, increase resolution, improve ADL. Conclusion. Diabetes foot exercise play crucial role in improving the sensory sensitive of the feet, it changes blood circulation, reducing neuropathy, and lowering blood glucose level in patients with diabetic mellitus. Various, intrinsic and extrinsic factor influence the implementation of food exercise, including personal barriers, environment barriers, pervasive food health benefits, and religious practice. Overcome personal barriers such as limited knowledge, financial constraints, and lack of motivation is essential for patient to be in effective self-care practice. Health education and telehealth can be provide support and guidance to patient, informing food exercise and managing there is diabetic. And the last, additional diabetic food exercise not only have physical benefits but also contribute to physical well-being and independence in daily activities. The integration of diabetic food exercise into patient care can lead to improved outcomes and a change to overall a quality of life for individuals with diabetic mellitus. Thank you very much. That's all my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Helti. It is open now, open for question from the, okay.
Thank you, Professor. My name is Nino from Indonesia.
Can, yes, because only my voice is loud.
Thank you, Professor. My name is Nino from Indonesia. Can I ask two questions?
Yes, sir.
I have two questions for you. The first one is, how did you screen the article from 1,000 and something into, the screening of duplication of the article? Did you use any tools or do you do it manually? And the second one is, I want you to explain a bit more related to the function of diabetic food exercise on physical, social, and spiritual. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to answer the first question. How about the tools? My tools is to read like Primus, yeah, and then to lead them like menggunakan I use in
Okay, you can use a bit of your Indonesian.
saya menggunakan iya kenapa jadi lupa tulisnya dengan menggunakan diabetik ya khusus jurnal diabetik kemudian IDAF kemudian karena kebetulan ini adalah is my dissertation jadi saya sudah mengumpulkan selama 3 tahun membaca dan bagian dari literatur review saya jadi tools yang saya gunakan itu dengan menggunakan kenapa saya jadi lupa iya Prisma yang sudah saya tuliskan tadi di sana
Duplication screening, did you use like Mendeley or?
yes Mendeley oh M sampai saya bilang M I use Mendeley of course and then I think the first question already done and then the second question I'm sorry can you repeat
Benefit of diabetic food exercise on both physical, social, and spiritual.
okay benefit food exercise to social benefit because exercise food because food exercise to impact ya prevent luka diabetik ya tentu mencegah itu and then the next spiritual like journal article like self efficiency and then yoga and then article like to spiritual how to bagaimana dia menerima DM jadi tidak menimbulkan DM itu menjadi prognosis yang jelek because diabetic is also called the mother of all disease because it's given birth the new disease so food exercise so many impact to patient to prevent complication. I think that's all my answer.
Okay, any more question from the floor? Tidak ada ya. So thank you Healthy for your presentation as well as answering the questions. Thank you. Okay, we will call the next presenter. We have Timi Sata. Okay. Larasati. SATO Sati. Okay. Okay, we have Timi Larasata with the policy of analysis for the acceleration of stunting reduction in West Pasaman Regency. Alright. Okay, the reason why I want everybody to speak English so that, but you are very lucky, everybody is from Indonesia, and we feel that we are having conference in Indonesia if you speak in Bahasa Indonesia. So if you speak Bahasa English, then we feel that you are in the international conference. You can try your best, right? Okay, you can start now.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I'm Timi Larasati. I want to present my research and the title is Policy Forma Analysis for the Acceleration of Stunting Reduction in West Pasaman Regency. Background. Stunting in children is one of major public health problem in Indonesia. Stunting is a problem very serious because it is associated with the risk of morbidity and mortality.
Stunting is one of the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals. Included in the second goal of Sustainable Development is eliminating hunger and everything from of malnutrition by 2050 and achieve food security. The goal is to reduce the stunting rate by 40% by 2025. Stunting when toddlers are generally often not recognized by families and when they are 2 years old is only visible and has an impact on cognitive abilities and long-term productivity and can even have an impact on death. Stunting can be caused by the factors that are very diverse, starting from the condition of the mother or prospective mother, fetal and infancy of toddler years, or correspondingly in the period of the first 1,000 days of life. The period of 1,000 HPK is the golden age for a child. Mother's health and nutrition condition before and during pregnancy, mother posture, distance between teenagers and nutritional intake. What is lacking during pregnancy affects the fetal growth and the risk of stunting. In Indonesia, this is a distribution about the stunting in Indonesia. My place for my research is in Sumatra. In Sumatra, in West Sumatra, this is a red color in Indonesia. I choose the Sumatra Barat from place my research because in Sumatra Barat is highest for stunting in Indonesia. And then stunting is a serious threat to the future of Indonesia. Until now, stunting has become a national priority issue, and it is known that currently the prevalence rate of stunting in Indonesia is 24.4%, while the central government is target for 14% in 2024. In my place for my research, meanwhile in West Sumatra, based the result of Indonesian nutrition status survey increased from the previous year, which was 23.3% to 25.2%. West Pasaman Regency in the region with the highest stunting toddler prevalence in West Sumatra reaching 35.5%. In Sumatra Barat, and West Sumatra, there is seven regency, and then Kabupaten Pasaman Barat is highest in Sumatra Barat for stunting area. And problem statement of my research, this is to minimize the stunting health problem. The government makes a policy and program to reduce, and then in my research, I want to evaluation about the policy of stunting. Objective, to overcome this, a policy was created. The aims of this study, I want to find out how the policies launched by the government of West Pasaman Regency, and then second, knowing how good the stunting policy is when Pasaman is in West Pasaman Regency. And my method of my research is the qualitative study from problem solving approach. And the result, with the policy study stunting in the district Pasaman Barat, the government is trying running activity programs not only in terms on health but also adaptation efforts provided gradually. From the result, research found that initial condition the problem of stunting is triggered by condition malnutrition by children or
moving it to room.
okay, who cause that is the cause of the stunting must be resolved from two aspects of the problem of food and property problem. In conclusion, based on the result of interview, the implementation of the stunting reduction policy has been implemented properly both in accordance with regional regulation, but in Pasaman Barat still not optimal disseminated to the community so that there are still some people who don't understand how to prevent stunting. And then because West Pasaman is remote area in Sumatra Barat, and then the low human resource and very basic education minimum, so it is hard to give understanding to community about stunting prevention. And then The last, collaboration between the village government and the Nagari Guardian in helping the community to reduce stunting rates as well as during monitoring which was carried out to see if the condition have not been complete conduct employee training element. Thank you. That's all for me.
Is it time?
Yeah, that's
Wow. That's on the dot. Thank you for the presentation. Now we open for the floor to ask question. Ada soalan? Please ask question. Learn how to ask question now. If no question, ask question.
Yes,
Saja.
you have to ask question.
Can you please
Come here. Come here.
it's okay for you to ask question.
It's the learning process only,
Yes.
nothing else.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
I will ask for you. How to impact stunting for next generation?
The impact of stunting is I can speak in bahasa
Nah, boleh.
boleh. Tentunya itu akan mengganggu perkembangan otak dari balita sehingga nanti itu akan mengganggu untuk perkembangan generasi di Indonesia.
Alright, does that answer your question? Okay, so in future when you come for any conference, get ready with your bahasa English answer.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, I'm really stressed on your English. It's not because of anything. This is one of the examples. You're going to go for international conferences. They will ask you in English. Alright, any more question? I'm so sorry. Any more question? Sebab itu bila student saya ke depan dia sudah gementar. Okay, any question from the floor? Yes. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your presentation. Can you explain what research methodology you use?
Okay, thank you for the question. My research method is qualitative study. There is we doing to interview the head of service hub and then midwifery, and then I use the snowball, and then I I find the information with snowball, and then if I have I finish to get the information, and then I verification with document and observation, and then I make the triangulation data, and I make the result of and in I make the result in the interview on verification data and observation. This is I use qualitative study, just not quantitative, just qualitative.
So, in other words, you need to use qualitative aspect
Yeah.
to analyze on the policy.
Yeah.
So, at the end of what will be the contributions of your research in terms of the policy? Can you change
Okay.
the policy?
I just evaluation the policy. This policy is effective or no for my best result.
Because what I see is that you did mention that the policy has been implemented,
Yeah.
but in certain area the policy has not been implemented fully. So it doesn't mean that the policy is not implemented. So you have to look at the implementation of the policy. How effective is the implementation rather than you want to look at the policy. Because in the policy aspect, only after some of those review by certain authority, then only you can change the policy. So I think you have to look into how and why, because some of those areas the implementation has been done and they have not much of the gap, except that few places. Okay? So that is my recommendation.
Maybe the next my research, I want to take Prof recommendation.
That will be, I don't know. All right, nothing is my comment. So next time, whenever you prepare your slides, so make sure that it is all in English. So like, tahun 2019, so maybe my friend there from Malaysia don't know what is tahun. So, all right. So please make sure that you prepare all in English. All right.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay, we call for the next one.
A good presentation, right? So we have the Rahmatul Mulia. All right. Okay, the effect of peer education and adolescent knowledge about the physical change during puberty. Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Prof. Farida and Dr. Asita. I'm Rahmatul Ulia. My title is the effect of the education on adolescent knowledge about the physical change during puberty. The background is adolescent are people aged 10 to 90 years old and will experience puberty. And Indonesia will acquire a demographic bonus in which the productive age will increasing and adolescent are part of the productive age. Group that require special attention due to their high level of curiosity. Indonesia demographic bonus. The Central Bureau of Statistics in Indonesia issued prediction for Indonesia, which is get the demographic bonus with productive age 16 to 64 years is greater than age of children and the elderly, and the productive age population reaction is 69% of the total population now. Diseases proliferation in Indonesian population and 25 284.8 population, and then this one development and adolescent lack of the understanding might lead to them like taking bad action, which can influence their reproductive health problem that found adolescent include teenage pregnancy, unsafe abortion, restricted sexual behavior, sexuality transmitted infection, include HIV. And the development government has made various efforts to gain adolescents knowledge and avoid reproductive disorder through youth care health service in Indonesia. We know pelayanan kesehatan peduli remaja or PKPR using a peer educator approach. Peer educator are individuals who are committed and motivated to serve and resource people for their peer youth group. And my research objective is this research to find out the effect of peer educator on adolescent knowledge about physical change during puberty and junior high school with age 10 to 30 years old. It's a quantitative study with a quasi-experimental design with a test
one group pre-test and post-test design. The sample is 64 respondent at junior high school student. And the result is it was found that the average value to adolescents before with mean 63.59 and knowledge after receiving peer educator test using 274.61 with the value 0.00. Then it can be concluded that educational intervention by per educator about physical change during puberty very important to increase to knowledge adolescents. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So any question from the floor? Oh, ada dua ya.
Okay, let's pass the first.
Okay, siapa yang mau dulu?
Siapa nak mau dulu? Okay, baik.
Okay,
Please come.
Okay, excuse me, I want to give a question. Your article is very interesting, and I want to know the benefit your research. Thank you.
In other words, what is the novel? Maybe my research benefit is disseminating how education for upper educator. Maybe can about how in environment school environment to solve and to help per educator to revolve when needed in school environment. Jadi teman sebaya yang bisa membantu kesehatan reproduksi selama di sekolah begitu ya.
Answer? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Dimasukkan dia.
Semua nak tengok muka you, that's it.
Kita tak dengar ya.
thank you. Okay, I'm Nandem. Your PPT is very simple, but it's very interesting. But you said about background and methodology and research. I want to know what your theory to support your study. Thank you.
Theory with my study, maybe puberty is a change hormone with laki-laki dan perempuan kan perubahan fisik selama dari usia teenager to 10 or to 30 years old. Jadi perubahan dari fisik selama masa remaja itulah sebenarnya banyak teorinya untuk ketika seorang remaja untuk menerima dari yang masa kanak-kanak to children to menjadi dewasa, sehingga perubahan-perubahan fisik itulah yang menjadi kadang mereka membutuhkan pendidikan. Kadang dari orang tua masih kurang, namun pada ketika dibutuhkan ada pendidik supaya educator mungkin lebih menyenangkan karena merasa seumuran seperti itu.
Thank you for your presentation. Okay, maybe you have to ask from the other side whether you really answer the question. So, okay, we move to the next participant that will be from Malaysia. 19. Okay, the topic is on adoptions of information and technology communication in ulcer pressure prevention and narrative review. And for the, because
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Renti Ahmalia. I am from Padang, Indonesia. Now I will tell about my article about adoption of information and technology communication in ulcer pressure prevention and narrative review. The background. Patients who have immobilization and bed rest prone to have a poor blood circulation to the area that contact the bed. This condition is triggering pressure ulcer that may impact on patient recovery process, burden, and conformity. In 4.0 industry, information and communication technology or ICT has implemented in many healthcare activities, including the prevention of pressure ulcer. ICT provide a solution to prevent this unwanted condition in bed rest patients from many forms, but do not make yet especially for nursing. The purpose. The purpose of this study is mainly to synthesize previous findings related to the adoption of ICT in pressure ulcer prevention. The method. This study is a literature review which using several databases, namely PubMed, Google Scholar, TMIR, IEE, and SEC journals. We use the PRISMA framework as a guideline to selecting the eligible article that must be included to our study. We implemented mixed method appraisal tool to ensure the quality of article in this review. Then the data is synthesized and visualized in tabular. This my Prisma. There is three way to get this. The first identification and screening, and then include. And from this we get a 12 article. We get a 2081 article from literature research and obtained 11 eligible articles to be synthesized. Our finding revealed that ICT adoption in ulcer pressure prevention was better than expected with the implementation of artificial intelligence was dominant in our finding. We also found that several technologies such as Internet of Things, IoT, and was also implemented to send a patient data related to pressure ulcer periodically and provide the information for healthcare provider to formulate preventive intervention. Detection of pressure ulcer among patients may be done precisely by tomography technique in one study. And this we get six, the first big data analysis, and then artificial intelligence and mobile health or mHealth. Next, Internet of Things, IoT and tomography and surveillance system. In conclusion, the implementation of big data, artificial intelligence, mHealth, IoT, and surveillance system hold great potential in the detection, prevention, and management of pressure ulcer in healthcare setting. The utilization of big data from sensor embedded in patient garments provide continuous and abundant data that can be combined with fuzzy approach to identify pressure ulcer risks. Particular machine learning and natural language processing enhance the detection of pressure ulcer by analyzing multiple data sources and aiding healthcare professionals in making more precise decisions. All integrated to a health application such as YOLOVA demonstrate high accuracy is assessing pressure ulcer, serving as an auxiliary tool for early detection. Thank you for my presentation.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. Okay, any question from the floor? Yes.
Okay, thank you. I want to question for Ms. Reddy. I interest with IoT. I need to explain more details about IoT. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Timmy. And we find SIG, and I will explain about IoT. This in Internet of Things. IoT embedded in pets and to patient clothing provide a solution for closing periodic and routine data related to pressure ulcer. And the data they capture like change pressure, ulcer, impression for skin, and check patient body angel during observation and routine patient repository. Okay, thank you.
Any more question?
Thank you. I have a question. In your finding, did you find any gaps in the recent study that you have reviewed, or do you find that the finding has been conclusive? Thank you. Conclusive, tidak ada lagi yang bisa dibantah.
Okay, I find this ICT, and then about health, IoT, tomography, big data. So for the next, I will use the mobile application for the next my research.
Okay, I think she when she do all those narrative studies, just looking at what are the more on the pressure ulcers, what do you call that, inclusion and exclusion criteria. Did you go to see is there any gaps? Based on all the 12, based on the 12 final journal, am I right?
Yes.
Based on the 12 journals, when you read through, did you find any gaps? What are the gaps that you find in that, the conclusion from that 12 journals? Is that your question? Okay, begini ya. When you do that, systematically,
Yes.
you extract all those journals, right? So your purpose of your literature review is to look at how many studies have done on the pressure ulcer, right? Betul ya? For that literature review. So you during that process, so you find you final with that too. After you exclude all those things, you have 12 journals, right?
Yes.
So that 12 journals, when you read through, okay, what are the gaps? Maybe you look at some of those problem statements. What are the gaps that you found in that journal, previous studies? Is there any gaps on the pressure ulcer? Maybe I can answer as well. Probably what is maybe that is maybe the lack of the using IT in terms of prevention of pressure ulcer. Am I right, Boss Aiko? The boss is there. So majority, probably that is the reason why she wants to do on that. Using the application in terms of prevention of pressure ulcer. Right? Am I right? Dia pun confused and she's lost but whether I'm answering the correct one. Okay, so anyway, I already answered. Is that my answer? Okay, so I'm answered on behalf of the supervisor. Okay, we move to the next one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We move to the next one is from Wendy last year, not Lazada. So modern wound treatment in management of diabetic foot ulcer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and thank you very much for all. My honorable to Prof. Dr. Farida and Dr. Asita Eleni and everyone to present in this room. I'm here today to present my research report on the modern wound treatment in the management of diabetic foot ulcer. For the background of the study, the International Diabetes Federation in 2019 said that diabetes is a problem in the world of health that has reached a worrying stage. Currently, almost 500,000 people for 163 million in the world have diabetes. In 2019, and it's estimated that the prevalence will increase in 2045 to 700 million people suffering from diabetes. This disease affects many people in developing countries, one of which is Indonesia. Based on the research, Indonesia is ranked 7th with diabetes sufferers aged 20 up to 79 years. Basic health research in Indonesia shows as a significant increase in the incidence of diabetes from 6.9% in the 2013 to 8.5% in 2018. Whereas in 2019, the number of diabetic almost reached 4 million sufferers. The prevalence of diabetic foot ulcer is 9.1 million to 26.1 million cases in each year. In Indonesia, diabetic foot wounds are the most common cause of hospitalization, namely 80%. The prevalence of diabetic foot wound in Indonesia is around 15%, with an amputation rate of 13% and mortality rate of 32%. Based on the preliminary survey to the research conducted, 1,004 patients were using modern wound care at the Kampung Wound Care Clinic in the last 3 years, of which there were 333 diabetic foot ulcer patients, and then 225 cases of arterial ulcer, and then 298 cases of wound infection, and venous ulcer in 45 cases. For prevalence of diabetic ulcer patients, in the United States, the risk of amputation is 15 until 46 times higher than non-diabetic sufferers. In Indonesia, 15% and 30% amputation rate, and then mortality rate after amputation is 14.8%. This is supported by Ministry of Health data in 2018 that the increase in the number of diabetic ulcer sufferers in Indonesia can be seen from the increase in the prevalence of 11%. In Indonesia, the incidence of diabetes is the seventh largest in the world, namely 7.6 million people. Meanwhile, The incidence of diabetic foot ulcer is 15 of diabetic patients.
1 minute to go.
Yes, mortality and amputation due to diabetic foot wound are still high at 32.5% and 23.5%. So the wound is condition of damage to the continuity of the skin due to pathological process, both external and internal, which can cause complication if this is not handled properly. For the modern wound treatment, the current wound care method uses the principle of the moisture balance, which is said more effective than conventional methods. Wound care uses the principle of moisture balance is known as the modern dressing method. Other studies also state that the moist environment can isolate the inflammatory response, resulting in faster cell proliferation in high humid atmosphere. Cell metabolism will be better because more water, nutrient, and vitamin are available. The effect of a humid atmosphere can prevent tissue dehydration and cell death, accelerate angiogenesis, increase the breakdown of dead tissue and fibrin, and reduce pain during the treatment. For the recent
Sorry, your 5 minutes over. Can you please go to your conclusion point?
Okay. Yes. The conclusion, there are two kinds of ways to heal chronic wound on the feet, namely the conventional way and the modern way. The current wound care method is using the principle of moisture balance, which is said to be effective in the conventional methods. Wound care using the principle of moisture balance is known as the modern dressing methods. Other studies also state that a moist environment can accelerate the inflammatory response, resulting in faster cell proliferation. Giving tropical dressings to the wound or are based on modern dressing as obvious, where the topical therapy, like zinc, metcofazine, hydrocolloid, hydrogel, calcium alginate powder, iodosorb, cotimesorban, and foam dressing, is based on the color of the wound, the amount of exudate, and the no infection. If the color pink, red, yellow, black with zinc, metcofazine, hydrogel, hydrocolloid. If red, yellow with calcium alginate, iodosorb. If there is not a lot of exudate, is use polyurethane foam. In the study that the research conducted of the 15 patient studies, 11 use topical hydrocolloid, 2 use zinc metcofazine, and 2 use hydrogel. According to the research assumption, there is effect of giving modern dressing in the process of healing chronic wound on the feet due to a decrease in the main chronic wound in the feet before after being given modern dressing, which is 13.
Sorry, can you make it your last sentence, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, any question from the floor? Yes.
Thank you. Really, I want to question for you. What is the difference between modern wound care and classical wound care in your result? Research. In your research. Thank you.
Can you continue?
You answer, you can answer.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the question, Miss. There is a fundamental difference between the conventional wound care and the modern wound care. Where conventional, modern wound care technique do not recognize moist wound care, and then the gauze usually stick to the wound uh, because the wound is dry. In the conventional way, tissue growth is slow, causing a higher risk in infection. So, wound dressing in the conventional way also only use goes like NaCl, natrium chloride, and then etc. As for modern techniques, wound care is moist, so that wound care is not dry, because there is a principle for the healing for wound. We are use the moisture balance, so that we keep the balance of the wound for with the dressing from the modern. So like hydrocolloid, so hydrogel, and then so like iodosorb, Putinex sorba. So like I said a while ago in my slide. As for modern technique, wound care is moist so that the wound care is not dry. So that the gauze doesn't not stick to the wound. The presence of moisture can trigger faster tissue for growth. For growth. So and the lower of risk infection. So because with modern dressing, the wound is covered with a wound dressing. So a different wound dressing technique and for with the conventional wound. So very different from the SOP, and then for dressing based on the dressing also, because there is principle from the dry and then to the moisture balance. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Conventionally, when you want to treat DFU, what you need to do is first prevent or control the infection. Then you would do offloading so that to make sure it doesn't get worse, so that you don't put pressure on the ulcer. And then you would treat the underlying glucose so that dampen down the glucose level of the patient. And then, sorry, I've been writing it down. Do debridement. So either mechanical debridement or some other means of doing debridement, and then you apply dressing to that area. Okay, so that would be the conventional way of treating. But there are other more experimental ways of treating. I'm involved in two projects whereby we are doing more experimental ways of treating, where, for example, we are putting, there's one project that I'm involved in, whereby we're putting some natural products which we have tested before, which we know they are activating certain matrix metalloprotease, which is involved in wound healing, so they accelerate wound healing. That's one thing. And then there's another project which is involved in a big public university, which is involving stem cells and growth factors. So I was just wondering, do these sort of things happening in Indonesia, or are you still doing the conventional way of treating this DFU? Yeah. How are you treating DFU?
Okay, thank you, sir. Actually, in Indonesia, we have two ways also before for the modern technique and then the classical technique also in the wound healing or the treatment. In Indonesia, we have the policy maybe because in the nursing there cannot be to the debridement in the clinical. But for the doctor, there is a policy for the debridement in the clinical, maybe in the hospital, and especially operating room. But there in Indonesia, I have some clinic, but a small clinic for the practice in the nursing only for the wound care treatment. So you can point your question about
Yeah, about the different treatments, because the standard treatment I just told you, but we are exploring other treatments because the standard treatment, because right now we are getting between 5 to 10% of DFU in Malaysia, and our mortality rate is about 2.4% from DFU. And I'm surprised, and we are trying to bring it down. And I'm surprised I'm seeing about 20 something, 30 something, which is very, very high. And for us, even 2.4% is very high. So we are trying experimental treatment to bring it down even lower.
Yes.
So,
So actually, I have teach from Malaysia also, sir, because we have in ICRASH on November. We have the answer from we have the knowledge from the Dr. Charisma. I have knowledge from before before to practice in Indonesia. So in Indonesia, so there is many modern molecule for the prevent mortality, right? For the stop amputation.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your interesting presentation. So I think you are looking in terms of the nursing perspective. We are not looking in terms of the medical perspective. Yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to have two more presenters before you go for our break. So make sure you make as quick as possible. All right. So I'm calling for Silvana Eviwinda. And her topic is intervention and evaluations of mobile technologies for patient safety in nursing scoping review. All right. Scoping. All right. And please get ready, Sylvia Oresti. Just get ready for your next presentation.
Thank you for your time to present, Honorable Prof. Hamida, Assistant Professor Arsita, and all participants. I want to present my paper about the intervention and evaluation of mobile technologies for patient safety in nursing, coping review. Okay. This is the background as an introduction my paper. Patient safety is global concern, as we know, because health professionals have an ethical responsibility to protect of healthcare. Medication error, misunderstanding during hands-off, lack of trained personnel, and familiarity with new technologies are potential danger of patient safety. So, it's imperative that nurse acquire patient safety skill during their educational and professional career. Rise the mobile technology is reshaping the healthcare system and organize medical record and benefit nurses in field. This is the previous study. So research, another research focus on applied construction rather than applied application, and no systematic review on mobile application for improving patient safety culture among nurses. The purpose is my research is to fill in the gaps in the outcome evaluation of mobile application technology by conducting a systematic analysis of existing mobile application intervention for enhancing patient safety culture among nurses. The research method is conducting by PubMed, Medlines, Focus, Sinar, paper published between 2008 until 31 April 2023. This is the inclusion and exclusion. Research method by Prince. Finally, I have among 5 study. Um, this is 5 study. Finally, I found located in Indonesia, Taiwan, USA, Brazil, Argentina. And then the result is as mobile intervention is I have this mobile application intervention were delivered using technology platform such as smartphone, and then mobile application intervention for improving the patient safety culture at hospital, improving patient safety during hemodialysis, and reporting at first event, and to teach surgical instrument comprehensive and compared student learning. The majority was article.
Sorry to interrupt, you have 1 more minute to go.
Okay, thank you. Was used for education purpose, checklist, and reporting incident to improve patient safety. The input study that the application was effective, adequate, and useful to be used to improve patient safety. Discussing this scoping review compared the research on the role of mobile application technology, enhancing nurses' commitment to patient safety, detailing various intervention, and then having tried the outcome and the gap in the evaluation of these technologies, effect that need to be filled in the future study.
5 minutes ready. So can you go to the conclusion?
Conclusion is okay. The conclusion is patient safety culture among nurses may be greatly enhanced by implementing mobile technology, however, not been extensively adopted and integrated into everyday practice. And second, the need for more thorough assessment of health technology. And third, the long-term effect and the cost-effectiveness of health have not been truly evaluated. That's all my present paper. Thank you for.
Thank you. Any question from the floor? Any question from the floor? No question. So can we go for the last presenter? Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all participants. Thank you for our chairperson, Professor Farida and Dr. Hasbita also. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Salvia Oresti, Lincoln University College, PhD in Nursing, and status Alibaba Badan Adolescent also. And today I will show you my research about feeding practice in stunting children in toddler age 12 to 59 months. Okay, introduction. Stunting is a condition of chronic malnutrition brought on by a lack of nutrient intake. If it is not treated properly, it will result in suboptimal growth, experience difficulties achieving optimal physical and cognitive development. And we have suboptimal levels of intelligence are more susceptible to disease and have decreased productivity. The high prevalence of stunting will reach 26.9% in 2022. The research proposed to determine feeding patterns and the incidence of stunting in children aged 12 to 59 months. And there is method to variables, to dependent variable the incidence of stunting and independent the feeding practice and population example all women with children under age of 5 who will between age of 12 to 59 months. Total sampling size of 70 participants, retrospective study design. To design method, data was gathered between June 30 to June 27, 2022. And data gathered and analyzed the interviews and direct measures of responding height, univariate and bivariate analysis using the chi-square test with p-value 0.001. And I will show the results univariate and bivariate. And the univariate, it's to stunting and feeding practice. To stunting, there were 62.7% of very short stunting incident in toddler age 12 to 59 months. And the feeding practice, there were 68.6% improper feeding patterns in toddler. And the improper not normally, proper normally. Bivariate to stunting and feeding practice, the incidence of stunting that's very short is 80%, higher than that of the right feeding patterns, 25% in toddler age 12 to 59 months. The results of the chi-square test obtained in p-value 0.1001. So it can be concluded that there is a relationship between the feeding pattern of practice and the incidence of stunting in children aged 12 to 59 months. Discussion and conclusion. According to the study findings, a p-value of 0.001 indicate that there is a connection between feeding practice and the prevalence of stunting in children between age 12 to 59 months. According to the study, there is a connection between feeding habits and the prevalence stunting, since many among still lack knowledge about toddler nutrition and morally give food to their children without considering its nutrient value. Additionally, toddlers frequency purchase snack for vendors also because eating snack before here eating. However, its mother is knowledge to know about nursing food for toddlers that we call the gizi seimbang and isi piringgo. The mother's diet does not follow to the recommended diet science. It does not cover a early diet. And this morning, afternoon, evening, and to snack. This may have an impact on toddlers' dietary intake and their ability to make their nutrition food. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Any question from the floor? Yes.
Any more question? Yeah?
Thank you, Prof. Thank you for opportunity. Thank you, Miss
Asia, I think your research very interesting. I have one question for you. What is your recommendation of your research? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. I'm gonna answer to this. And the recommendation, my research about it's how to all nurses. It's not nurses, it's just all health worker and the community to increase, to mobilize to the community to the right feeding patterns. Because I mean, it's not about the policy. It's not about policy. So I want to show the all women with toddlers to right breeding practice. It's called to gizi seimbang and easy feeding food in Indonesia. And I think to door nurses and all health worker to explain the mother and the parents also. And I think it's not policy. It's integrated service post. I think. Thank you very much.
For your question. Thank you so much. Okay, with that we end our session today, this morning, and I hope based on our presentation, your presentation, and your Q&A, you should learn in all different aspects on how to answer the question and how to provide the question and how to improve for your next presentation. Okay, with that, congratulations to everyone. Good work done, and then we will move forward. Okay, with that maybe you can have a session, photography session.
Yeah, I think Adila is coming. I think the chairperson.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Our pretty lady is coming with big bonus. Nothing? Got nothing? Nothing, please? All right. So far, are you happy with this conference? I'm happy. It's not convincing now for me. All right. So anyway, whatever this one, there is always strength and limitation of any conferences. One. Number two is that take these conferences as your platform in terms of improve yourself. So now our big boss of the conference is here. All right. Breakfast ready?
All participants, all presenters, please come here.
Where's Datin?
Nothing to that. Please come.
Come.
All presenters, please come here.
Come.
Presenter saya.
Come.
Come all the presenters.
We would like to invite Professor Dr. Datin Hafiza to give an appreciation token to Prof. Farida.
The banner must come. Abi, the banner must come.
Banner.
One, two, three.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then next appreciation token to Associate Professor Dr. Asita Aliko.
Okay, now photo session.
Thank you, Datin.
Mana Saiful? Saiful.
Come.
Take this
No. See, one, two, three.
Thank you. Please take breakfast at 5 and come back by 11. Okay.
The faster the earlier the play is earlier.
Tapi,